Hello, hello. I'm back. I'll give it a few more moments here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I go live and for other messages. Leave a comment in the chat to let me know how the messages or whatever we're going to talk about today resonates with you, or if you have any feedback. I wanted to do this live. That's why I didn't extend the daily today too long. I wanted to do this live to address some of the subscriber questions, okay? I'm getting some great feedback, and so I would like to just address some of them a little further, okay? Um, so basically, I'm gonna try to make it like, are your readings based on Western astrology or Vedic astrology? To be honest, look, Lakia, I honestly I just read. Um, Intuitively. I've never looked to see what kind of reading it may or may not be. I just read based on current energies. Yeah. Okay, so if you have any questions yourself, you can put them in the chat, or the ones that I'm going to be addressing today are the two that I posted earlier. I'm just going to I can't even remember the exact question, but we're just going to give like a generalization of it. There was one, Elena, hello. There was one subscriber that, and everybody's going to remain anonymous, but there was one subscriber that wrote in to me yesterday, and I posted the question about someone that she is reuniting with. He keeps saying that he wants to take things slow or whatever like that to get to know each other better before a relationship. And the thing about it, the email was so long. This is why I wanted to get on and address some of these questions. So the um the email was pretty long, and so she just wanted to know, is this a game? Hey, Brad, what's going on? We're talking about the two questions that I posted today. I'm going to try to start doing some lives on those, because here's the thing, everybody. When I get these subscriber questions, they are long, 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 long emails, and I try to summarize it so that I can make it short for the viewers. Because if I put every detail up there, nobody's going to want to read it that long. So I felt like if I get on and I give a little bit more info, maybe that will help the subscribers when they do email me. Okay, so this is part two to the question that I posted about a subscriber that wrote in and said, did she reckon what? I guess she's in the process of trying to see if she should reconcile after a tower. Okay, these two were never officially together, but she rushed the connection. She wanted an instant situation. She wanted an instant relationship after, I believe in the email. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to recap. After like a few weeks or so, and she admitted that. She admitted that, and we talked about that as well. At this point, he has reached out. He has decided that he would like to talk about what happened. He shared that he felt the same way, like things were rushed. And so, make a long story short, because it is very long, she asked me, was it a game or was he serious? Because a lot of times, and it's true, men and women both will say, hey, let's just take it slow, let's take our time and all this, only to not really be serious, only to not really be trying to get to know you. You're just like a placeholder. And you know me, I'm gonna be honest and say we all never really know where we stand with people, like initially. And sometimes we can think that we stand a certain place and we don't with certain people. So what are your thoughts? I know you don't know, because I don't even know, the person personally, but just based on the information. If someone comes back into your life who maybe you two rushed the connection and somehow you two have started back just on speaking terms, and basically you have told each other, you talked about the issues and you've said that you still cared about each other, and you're looking at this other person who's saying, I want to get to know you better. I want to get to know you before we jump into a relationship. What are your thoughts, everybody? Do you think that's fair? Do you think that's game? Do you think that's she need to move on? Does she? I got Sophia here. Okay. And could you explain, Brad? Because they're going to be able to see the chat as well later on once it streams. If you don't mind, I know you did answer the question. I appreciate that. You did answer. So, yeah, to that subscriber, that one of the answers that Brad is going to provide, that, based on how he feels, is on up underneath the question on the community post. So, if there's anything else Brad or anyone else would like to share to help this young lady reflect, you can say it. Okay. Say what? So anyone else, if you want to chime in? Let's see. Okay, cool. Yeah, because just like how we type in here in the chat, it'll show up. The actual chat should show up like the next day. So yeah, Brad says to me it's game. And then we were trying to clarify. He said I could say it. Okay. So Brad feels like it's game. And Brad, if you could provide what is the point of, because she wanted to know why go through all of that, only to end up in this space. Yes, I said yes. We just did a couple of lives. Today's was a little different, but the last two, oh my God, they have been so intense. So definitely I feel like, yeah, it is a vibe with the Pisces, that people feel. As soon as you see someone, you can feel it. Yes, Brad says, as soon as you can see someone, you feel it. I agree. I think you could be onto something there. I didn't think about it that deeply. Um, so that's why I'm, making it so that some of these questions can be asked to other subscribers, because it's always interesting to see someone else's insight. So yeah, it definitely could be a Pisces thing. It could be the vibe that this gentleman likes. Um, to me, I'm just gonna be honest. Um, I don't know. It just seems like he's uncertain. Um, just with the whole thing. Now I will say it's real thing. Don't ever mask that. Yeah, yeah, that's true. And I will say that if he keeps coming back around, You know, it's gotta be the energy. I mean, it has to be. I mean, yeah, you can think about sex and all that stuff. If she didn't disclose that. But it could be that, it could be assets, it could be resources, it could be all that what narcissists like to do. It could be that. But what if it's not that? And what if it's just how people will say it's just something about you? What if it's really just something about this Pisces that he just can't forget? He just can't shake it, And that's this is for my women and men. If you've ever had a woman to keep coming back and she tells you how nice you are, how sweet you are, how thoughtful you are, and just loves to talk to you, love to be around you, but for whatever the reason, she can't get it in her mind to solidify it, or it just seems like things go wacky. If a guy says, let's take it slow, that means he is still looking around. Okay. Okay. Let me read that out loud. Let's see. If a guy says, let's take it slow, that means he is still looking around. Okay, Brad. Yeah, you do have a point. You do have a point. I'm going to add to that, Brad's point. If by some chance, let's just say by some chance, let's just say, because I know I'm going to get this question. What if he isn't looking around? What if he's genuine? What if he has been through some things himself and he doesn't want to rush and get hurt again? Because, we have that. We have that going on in the readings. you know? Okay, Safi. Okay, it is okay to give it a little try first and see if he or she is comfortable with the situations. If they both healed, because you can work on balance. Okay, great answer. Thank you, Safe. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah. Okay. So it's like, what if there is no game? What if there's no games in it and you just got two people that have been hurt? Like, I don't know what the other person's sign is. Let's just say he's another Pisces. Okay? What if you got two Pisces that just have alluring energy and both have been hurt and they're just trying to see? That's true, Brad. That's why the emails are so tricky, Brad, and everyone else joining us. It's so tricky because I know what everybody's trying to do. They're trying to put all the details that they can in there, but without us like being there and knowing what's going on and hearing conversations, it's a little hard to state, okay, because from the outside, I'm gonna keep it real. It did seem like game. Okay. Um, but I will give the gentleman the benefit of the doubt. If he has told this young lady, and she know who she is because we'll remain anonymous. If he has told this young lady that without pushing the idea of intimacy, without just trying to do something to just have relationship benefits, you know, if he has told her that he genuinely wants to get to know her and that's genuinely what he's doing, because I'm gonna be honest, it's okay to test people a little bit, because I've realized that there's some men that test women that way. They test to see the boundary. And I'm not saying that's a great thing to do, but let's just be honest. Some men and some women do that. And let's just say, for instance, they try to see in a sense, are you the type of man, are you the type of woman that's easy, or are you the type of man or the type of woman that has standards? So they'll try to push a little bit to see where you stand. And that's where we have to use our intuition and be on it. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that that's what, human nature. So with this situation here, if the guy's truly genuine and he truly is just trying to get to know this young lady for real without rushing, I would say her best bet is to not rush it and just continue living her life. And if it is supposed to come together, it will. She needs to keep living her life, keep doing the things she like to do, always look her best. Don't get too comfortable, be a little mysterious, just keep doing what she's doing. And basically meet his energy. Meet his energy. Meet his energy. Whatever if he's giving out this amount, you can meet that or you can go less. Because I read that somewhere that you don't want to over give or give more of your energy than necessary. You want to meet that person right there where they are with you or less. That way it doesn't feel like you're giving so much if it doesn't work, and they're just taking. So I definitely say meet their efforts. Like if it's something simple, like a lot of times, like in today's world, everybody want to text. They want to text. It is rare that people want to sit on the phone and talk, right? So if you're a person that like to sit on the phone and talk, if this man or woman is really interested in you, they should be willing to talk to you at least once a day. We realize that we all have jobs and different things or other things going on, but a texting relationship is just hard to have. So that's just an example for me. If that person is meeting the effort that you're putting in and y'all are meeting each other on the same page, there could be some honesty there. But if it's nothing like that and all he's saying, yeah, baby, let's take our time, you know what I'm saying? We got time to nah, that's that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole other thing. And now we're going to go to that second one that I posted today. I believe it was actually the first one, but I'm trying to just address them. So the second question that I wanted to discuss today was the one about the email where they reunited and this person, I wanted to try to put all the reconciliations together. So we could, because they're all, if you think about it, it's all somewhat the same in a way. I wanted to keep the reconciliations together. So in this particular situation, these two had a chance to talk about their feelings or whatever like that. And this person is confused because they kissed. Now, I guess some people feel like if you kiss somebody on the mouth, it's something serious. And then you got other people that kiss and it's just casual because that's what they do. So even though kissing is a very, even though we take it lightly in this culture right now, but it is sensual. It is a connection in some point, because even in the Bible it talks about kissing on the lips and all that kind of stuff. So what do you ladies and gentlemen think about that? What do you think? Do you think a kiss signifies or shows how much this person cares, or this person just wants to be intimate, or is it just trying to keep her on the hook? What do y'all think? Thank you so much for the thumbs up, by the way. I'm a Pisces sun. Okay, cool. Hey, Casey. After all energy shifts. After all, what do you mean? You gotta love yourself first. That's true. Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah. Yeah, people can change. One day they with you, one day they may not be. And it just depends on the person. It depends on the situation. Yeah, definitely agree. Anyone else have any feedback before we go to the last question? That I didn't even post this one, but it's another one I have. Okay, so we're gonna go to the last one I have for today, and it's about social media and relationships. What do you think, everybody, about people that you may be trying to get to know or people that you're in a connection with? Do you feel like it's best to not have social media connections, or do you feel like it shouldn't matter? And I say that because sometimes the social media thing can really trigger people. You got comparisons and contrast and all of that. So, and I get a lot of social media questions. So, what do you think about social media and relationships or courtships or marriages? Do you think that it is okay to be friends with your significant other or your wife, your husband, or do you feel like that should be an individual based situation to connect with family and friends for each person? Because so many couples go through things based on social media. It has it's not social media itself that has done this, but just how people are using it, it has ruined a lot of relationships. So what are your thoughts? Okay, what do we have here? I'm sorry. Brad says this will forget. They will forget all about the social media if Pisces don't care and use that energy into something else. That's interesting. That's an interesting response. Okay. We'll go back to that. Let me see what Safi says. I think that if someone can get triggered from social media, that means that they are not trusting on themselves. And if that the case, it better be used. Use it for yourself. If not, if the person is really grounded, that wouldn't be a problem. That's true. It depends on each one. Yeah. Yeah. Me personally, and I hope this is going to address probably like the 10 questions that I've gotten about social media. I mean, they've been this I've had the emails are just based on social media, so I just want to talk about how that affects relationships. Me personally, I don't put a lot of energy into social media. I don't. I mean, I'm on YouTube, but I don't put a lot of energy into Facebook and Instagram. I just feel like, as far as social media and relationships, it is definitely based on, it's an individual thing. Do I think that it should be, of course, it was created to connect. Should it be used to spy on people? No. That's where it gets tricky. If it's being used to spy on people, and I've experienced a situation like that myself, and that's not good. Or if it's being used to try to cast blame on someone, no. So I really think, because a few years ago we didn't have social media. We were getting to know each other the old-fashioned way, writing letters and all that. But technology has just advanced, and we have all this instant access. So I feel like if the two people are not connected on social media, it could be a great thing. It really could be. And I'm gonna tell you why. It helps each person to remain their own individual, and it keeps some mystery in there. It keeps some mystery. You know what I mean? Like when they like some people, like their Facebook profile, they'll put everything about them. Oh my goodness, everything that they ate, everything that they had on today, they put all of that up there. But if you two aren't, friends, or if you're like me where I don't have social media like that, I'm not on there like that. So it keeps mystery. It keeps that person wondering, like, wonder what Pisces up to. Wonder what and I've witnessed this too. Wonder what they look like now. But if you putting everything on social media and you're dating somebody or married or whatever the situation, it takes away that mystery. Think about it. If they're at work, right, and they're thinking about you, they don't even have to they don't have to sit back and just wonder what is Pisces doing. They can just click, and a lot of people have their status up there, making dinner at the beach. You know what I mean? And they wonder why people don't the significant other doesn't want to call them, or the guy or the girl they're trying to get to know doesn't want to talk on the phone, because they have all this information right at their fingertips. What if the person says that's how they get their business from people, through social media? Then what? Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. I was just saying, like, um, do you think it's a good idea for couples to be on each other's social media? I think that each person should have their own pages, because we do have jobs and different things online now. But I'm saying, when especially when you're trying to get to know someone or whatever like that, or date, do you feel like um being connected on social media, is it a good idea? Because sometimes social media can limit what you have to figure out about a person, or what you get to know, because it's so readily available. Everything that you want or talk about is readily available. Yeah, good question. Yeah. Because I get a lot of questions like, oh, about people cheating, all this on social media. And I mean, it's an individual thing. But I was just thinking, I mean, if a person going to cheat, they going to cheat. There ain't nothing you can do about that. But I'm saying if people know that that's a trigger for them, it probably isn't a good idea. I don't think it's necessary to do that. What do you mean, like not be friends on social media? You feel like the couple should be friends on social media, or it doesn't matter? Keep it separate. Yeah. And you know what, Brad? And everybody else, yeah. It's not necessary. I guess to be real, it's a personal choice. It's a personal choice. Like, say for instance, okay, let's just say, because we get, in the readings, this is a good question here. In the readings, we always tend to have people wanting to reconcile, right? And let's just say, for instance, you had a situation that it went sour. Okay, it went bad. And so maybe you two stopped being friends on social media, or for whatever the reason, or maybe you deleted your page and then you started another one, or however. And maybe, you got to a place where you two tried to work on your differences. Okay. And I think that's, when we do the readings and we do that, somebody's looking at your social media, and this is a good question. If it's a situation like that where someone is thinking about reconciling and these two people have unfriended each other, do you feel like they should stay unfriended, or do you feel like they should go back? And I hate to make social media like such an important factor, but you will be surprised at how much, people, because you got some people say, oh, well, he won't add me on, she won't add me on, or he won't add me on social media. I can't do this. But the thing is, you know, what if it's for the best? Like, you took that person off your social media for a reason back then. So now that you two are cool, or maybe y'all are trying to give it a second chance, you know, do you think that they should be re-added, or you think it should just be stay like it is and see where it goes? Or what are your thoughts, everybody? Because I believe that's why a lot of the times the whole comes in the reading, because when it, people go and either they unfriend or they unfollow. I know if you unfollow, you don't have to see what they're doing. But I know unfriending is like just not being friends with them, period. On this, I agree. Because I'm gonna tell you something, Brad. Everybody else, and I bet you there's a lot of people that agree with Brad. I'm gonna tell you, if you go through a situation and you're thinking about reconciling with someone, and you two just got away from social media, do you know that maybe if y'all get back connected, that you're gonna bring that back, some of that bad energy back into what you're trying to rebuild? So it might be good not to be connected. I mean, really, because think about it. Do you want to you already are taking the risk, trying to reconcile, right? So do you want to bring something that was negative, nothing to do with social media, but the fact that y'all two had to unfriend each other, you're going to bring that bad vibe back, and you trying to build something new? Because think about it. Once you separate from a person, or break up or divorce or whatever, and y'all are thinking about getting back together, the old relationship is done. You have to start fresh. That's where a lot of people don't understand. Just because y'all have known each other previously, that doesn't mean anything. It's hard to pick up where you left off, because even if it's only been a month, 3 months, a year, you two have changed a little bit. So you got to start from scratch and build your way up. And to be real, if one of the things negative that happened was you two blocking each other and unfriending each other, you don't want to bring that energy into the new situation you're trying to have. I that's how I feel, because everything is linked, right? Everything is based, pretty much is based on energy. So you go and bring something back that you two probably did out of anger, which was unfriend each other, then you want to add them back. It's gonna become like a crutch. Okay, when I'm mad, I'm gonna unfriend you. And it shouldn't even be like that. It shouldn't be like that. And I mean, that goes for anyone, because we're all human. But I say, if you two had to go as far as to not be friends on social media, and you're trying to see what you two can have just by natural means and just seeing where it's going, I say that's the best route. Yeah, it is the same cycle again, exactly. And it's, you're bringing in that energy. So as soon as the both of you are friends again, and somebody is bound to get a little upset, because that's just life. And it's going to be so tempting for you to unfriend them, or that person to unfriend you. And then here we go again. So I think if you're thinking about that, kind of seeing where, and this is not like, if you have, because some people, when they're divorced and all that, they're done. They don't want to try to go back down that path, and I get that. But when you're dating and you, maybe it just didn't go well or whatever, and you two just kind of fell out, and then y'all are thinking about reconnecting. Maybe y'all ran into each other and you realize that you still attracted. You realize that you can't stop thinking about this person. You realize they can't stop thinking about you. I say keep yourself separate. I feel like it gives you mystery. It gives you individuality. It kind of cuts down on some insecurities as well. Because a lot of times trying to look at somebody's social media can bring insecurities that you probably don't even need to have. You just need to get to know that person. And like I always say, that person's going to reveal who they really are anyway. You don't have to go digging. They're going to reveal the real them anyway. All you got to do is listen. They're going to reveal who they are and what their intent is. If a person feels no trust, it don't matter. That's right. That's right. That's right. Because a lot of times, in the time we live in now, a lot of times people just want to be on social media with each other to look and see what the other's doing. Want to see who's being whose friend. Want to see who's following who. Want to see whose picture they liking. And it can get so toxic. Like, it can get just so toxic. So I think it is so draining. Yes, Saf, yeah, it is. So I think if you can reduce the social media and try to get to know each other, like, I know we're not in the old school way of doing things, but back then there was still cheating going on. There was still there was still all this stuff. People used to go to the payphone and try to call their mistress. You know what I mean? So it was still going on. It's just that it wasn't as easily accessible. You know, it wasn't as easily as accessible as it is now. Cause now you can just pretty much just two clicks and you can see what somebody's doing, or and don't let you get their password, or that person gets your password somehow. Oh my gosh, it's over. It's that's a whole other thing. They was just coming in the back door instead of the front door. That's right, Brad. That's right. It's true. That is so true. And it's still painful. It was still very hurtful, but you notice Back then, you didn't have as much drama as you have now with it. Somebody cheated, and if you figured it out, you told that person off, you gave them the stuff, and it was done. Now they taking, people are videoing themselves, bleaching clothes and keying cars, and driving up to the man's house. He got the woman in there. They filming those two naked in the bed, and I mean it's a whole thing now. It's like whoa, you putting everything out there because in the moment they got all that emotion, they got that devil energy, and they're like, I want to expose this man or this woman. I want to expose them for the dog that they are, whatever they are. And so if you're not connected on social media, guess what? Codependency is a lot worse now. Yes. Oh my gosh. And people are codependent for a lot of things: validation, security, money, the financial aspect, a lot of things. They just get so, they want to cling. Yeah, exactly. Why ruin your peace intentionally? Yeah. Yeah. To be real, if I was a Facebook junkie or somebody that loves social media, if I'm talking to a guy and he doesn't add me, I'm not gonna be mad. In fact, I'm gonna think it's okay, because if he's not being honest, it's gonna come out anyway. And two, it helps him to wonder what I'm doing. Instead of him can just go up to my page and see, it helps him to wonder, okay, what is she doing? You know? And if you're a person that got a lot going on in your life, because people like that. People like when you're busy. You got stuff going on. You're not telling your every move. That's what creates the suspense. That's what creates attraction. So that's just my view on it. I think it could be a good thing not to have somebody looking at your every step. Too many people stay together unhappy because of that codependency issue. That's right. That is so true. That is so true, because there'll be, usually it's one mate that seems to somewhat be draining the other person, right? And then when that person is ready to go, that one that has been draining that other one can't figure it out. They're like, why you want to leave? Like, and that person sitting there like, man, I've given it my all. I've given it all that I could, and I'm tired now. I'm tired. And the person that is being left, they can't understand it, because see, they haven't really been putting in the energy like that. They've been dependent on your energy, and you've had to keep yourself built up to keep going. It's a whole process. So though they don't understand it, the one who's codependent doesn't get it. We all need different things from a relationship. But when it's totally like codependent to the point where the person is dependent on you for their happiness, for sustainability and everything, it is hard. I've been through that too. It is hard, y'all. You don't want that. You don't want that. And what make it so bad, it's like they can't even see your pain. It's like I'm sitting up here and feeling like I'm dying, and you're not even noticing, you're not noticing that this is killing me. This is what you're doing, what you're saying. The fact that you are not really giving me 110 like I am is killing me. And so when you're ready to get out of that situation, that person looking at you like, how dare you leave? How dare you just throw this away? Like, hey, you threw me away a while ago. Did you even pick me up? Because I don't even think you picked me up and honored anything we had, because they feel like I've been doing the work. That's how that codependency stuff is. And the person that's the most codependent, have you noticed they're usually the loudest? They're usually the loudest. Because they can't get their way. They want their way. They want their way. Yep, they want their way. So they just, 'cause, 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 ' They just loud, they get mad, they go off and all this kind of stuff. And over time, I don't know how long you stay there, in months, years, or whatever, you get tired of that. You get tired of, I mean, and you ever been in a connection, everybody? You ever been in a connection where you felt like you were not yourself at towards the end? Like you felt like you were a shell of a person. You just walking around looking aimlessly, like you feel like you're just a shell of a person. And I feel like, and I'm not saying that everybody doesn't have a part in a relationship because it takes two. But what I'm saying is when you're the one that feels drained, and you feel like you just walk, you feel like literally like a zombie, like you're just existing, like you're not even living. You feel like a zombie, like I'm just here. And they don't get like, what's wrong with you? Like everything. Like me, everything. And that's why I say it is okay to not rush a relationship. There is no time limit. I'm not saying be available to someone forever if you desire marriage, but whether you desire marriage or not, it is okay. Take your time. Because the more time that you take, the more you're going to get to know about that person. They're going to get to know more about you. And also, you're going to figure out what works for you, and so will they. And if their energy can align with yours, cool. And if it doesn't, cool. You won't be rushing into, because like me, I have rushed into things myself. I've done that. And I'm sure we all have. And I learned from it. I learned from it. It was a hard lesson, but I learned. Don't get too comfortable with the person. Ooh, ooh, yes. Safe, yes. Don't get too comfortable with a person because at any given time, somebody can switch up on you. That is so true. That is so true. That's so true. That's why I always try to talk about building yourself, becoming good with yourself, enjoying your own company, so that whoever comes in can be an asset to your life and not a liability. They're not taking away from you. They should be adding to you. But a lot of times we forget that and we get into these situations. That's why they drain us so bad. But when you know better, you do better. Because when you learn, if you ever get drained, like I had one good time, the next time you're going to show up different. I promise you that. I promise you. You're going to require different. You're going to want different. You're going to want better for yourself. And anything that looks like what you had before, you're going to be like, no. Nope. And I mean, if it looks just anything like, you're like, nope. Like, nope. And that's how you know you've grown. That's how you know that you've grown. When you get to a place like that. This is good stuff, y'all. I know this live is a little different, but we just don't know who we're helping. With our stories, with our experiences, we don't know who we're helping. We could be helping hundreds, thousands, one day millions. Somebody, will see these messages and be like, man, yeah, this is helping me today. So take your time. If you made a mistake in a relationship or you were in a connection that you see now that maybe you should have slowed down in and gotten to know something more, you can't change the past. All you can do is go forward. But the next time, take your time. Take your time, y'all. There's no need to rush. Take your time. Have fun with the person. Get to know the person. Become friends. Become cool. That's okay. That's what's great thing to do. Yeah. Yes, that's when you know that you don't need any outside validation. Only you. Yeah. Take your time. And look, a lot of times we can get in relationships and we forget to just enjoy the connection. So take time to enjoy the talking phase, the courtship phase, y'all getting together. Take time to enjoy it. Sometimes, we can get in connections. I know with myself in the past and everybody else, probably have gotten into connection. You're like, whoa, wait a minute, a little too fast, you know. So this point in the game, you're wiser, you're better, you're sharper. So this point, take your time. No need to rush. And if they want to rush you, then that may not be the person for you, you know. But I say it's better to take your time. My brother, personally, I want to put his business out there like that. My brother, he is with this is crazy because his girlfriend, I'm always, and the thing is, I always have to uh retract my words because when she comes around, I always call her sister-in-law. And I've never done that with anybody, right? And it just comes out so smooth. And so when my brother calls me, you know, we stay 2.5 hours away from each other, and he'll call me and he'll just be catching up or whatever. And I'll say, well, how's my sister-in-law? And I'm like, and I have to catch myself, you know, I'm like, oh my God, because I've already told him that that was his wife. But I bring that up to say that they were in a talking phase for 7 months. 7 months. They just talked and became friends. And they found out so much about each other in those 7 months. So whenever he asked her to be his girlfriend, it was just like it just happened so naturally because they had already been talking and hanging out and all that stuff for 7 months. But they just made it official on that 8th month. And I can truly say that their connection, and I just pray that it, you know, continues to grow stronger. It is a beautiful connection. You know, it really is. She's into some of the same things he's into, and vice versa. She accepts him for who he is, and the same thing with him and all that. And what's crazy is I actually read his cards before he met her. And she's a Pisces. How about that? She's a Pisces now. Yeah. She's a Pisces. So, yeah. I thought that was pretty amazing. Yeah. Brad got the eyes. She's a Pisces. Yep. She is an Aquarius. No. She is a Pisces Aries cusper. So she's got some Aries in there. Is it Aries? I think it's yeah. I think it's Aries. Yeah. 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 But he's a Capricorn, so they probably work. You know, I don't know what her moon sign is. You know, but he's a Capricorn. Okay, Safi. Yeah, Brad. Same thing I said. So I mean, I just wish them the best. Yeah, I wish them well because they look good together. They mesh well together, and just the whole thing of the whole 7 month thing. And she propositioned him. She approached him and showed interest. You know. Hey, Darisha. March 20th, Paola. Okay, cool. Yeah. She showed interest first. And you know, he been through some rough relationships too now. Oh my God, he been through it. But he said this time around, I'm gonna take my time. And that's what he did. He continued to work on himself. And what was crazy is he took his time and then he had just women left and right trying to, hey, I got somebody I can hook you up with, this and that. And I told, he was like, he said, what is going on? I said, it's the vibe, it's the energy. I said, you finally believe in yourself and everybody else is believing in you too. Stuff is real, man. He looked at me crazy too. When I started reading cards and coming with the intuition and the visions and the and all of that, he was like, yo, she crazy. Like like something is wrong. You need to go and get help with that and stuff like that. Like, nah, Yeah, I was crazy until the stuff started happening, right? Yeah, okay. I was crazy until the stuff started happening. And so nowadays he's like, well, how's the channel going? How's the channel going? But before I was just like, when you're on that level, on the spiritual level like that, people do have a tendency to think you out there. Now I know what hippies went through in the 70s, the hippies and stuff like that, when they had that free spirit, they talk about manifestations and meditating by fire and stuff like that. I can see what they went through now. Cause I've had some people to say, that's not right. What something's going on there. I think you Looney Tunes. All right, that woman has a problem, or that man has a problem. I had one subscriber that asked me, "Was I a witch?" I said, "No, I'm not a witch." What you mean? Don't put don't put that on me. I'm not a witch. No, I'm just highly intuitive. Yeah, Brad, it was crazy. Talking about, are you a witch? I'm like, what? What you talking about? No, I'm not a witch. And if I was, what's it to you? You want to make some potions or something? No. Mm-mm. I'm not claiming that. And they said, well, how can you have Christian or Baptist beliefs and you read tarot? I'm like, okay. My thing is, it's all about how you use the tools. It's all about how you use your gift. If I'm up here giving false prophecy, or if I'm up here trying to mislead people, then that's not right. But if I'm truly just giving you intuitive guidance as it comes to me, I mean, that's what I go on. And if I can't take the Lord with me, I'm not going anyway. But I think it's more or less what people, they have been like, society has just been where they have kind of gotten to a place of, this is witchcraft, this is that. They want to try to categorize everything, and it just all depends on how a person uses their ability. Are you using it for good, or are you using it for bad? You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't see me. I don't be trying to communicate with the dead. I don't have nothing against people that do that. I'm not doing that because I'm a strong believer in once we leave this world, that's it for us in this life. Okay. Do I think spirits can kind of linger? Yes and no. But as far as me trying to communicate with them, no. Do I think that you could have someone as a godparent, or no, 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 not godparent, but as a an angel, like a relative past? Absolutely, absolutely. Because I'm confident that my grandfather is mine. Because every time we have something that's going on in the family and I have a dream about it, he appears, and he's always smiling. He was a big guy. He was like 6'3" or 6'4", you know, 350 plus, big man. And but before he passed away, he got sick and he was really small. But in my dreams, he comes, and anytime, it's not often. It's only when there's something in the family that's going to require a little bit of attention. And he appears, and he's always smiling. So I know that he's looking, he's in spirit. But as far as like me just, on this live trying to communicate with my grandfather, no. I know he's with the Lord. I know he's where he is until judgment day. That's just how I feel. I don't knock people that do that. That's just not what I do on this channel. You won't see that on this channel. Mm-mm. No, because I feel like there's a fine line between communicating with spirits and the devil. So you got to really watch it. Because think about it. Why would the Lord bring somebody back that he took home with him to scare you? That's not the kind of that, I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but that's not the kind of God I serve. Somebody that will bring somebody back to scare me. No. I get people say, well, are you ever scared to do readings at night? For what? I fear nothing. What am I scared of? Why would I be scared? And I know that I'm walking in the light with it, and I'm not doing anything wrong. I hear this. They'll say, I hear this, I hear that. Well, what are you? And I ask them, the other readers now, they're asking me, and I said, well, what are you doing in your readings? What are you trying to conjure? Are you trying to conjure a spirit or what? Because what people don't understand is that the devil can show up in different forms, in different faces. He can make you think that's your relative that came back from the dead and it's him. That's how tricky he is. So you gotta be mindful. You gotta know what you know. You gotta know the word, and you gotta know where you are as a person. That's just my take on it. I've had emails, people say, oh, how can I get rid of black magic? And my only solution is prayer and belief. Because if you pray and you believe that it's not on you, then you know it's not on you. But if you believe that black magic is a part of your life, it's there. It's all about your belief. Somebody can be a full-blown witch and throw whatever on you, but where is your faith? If your faith and your belief is in God or whatever God you serve, because we all have different religions and stuff, but if your faith is in your leader, a creator, then you already know that that stuff can't touch you. But what the enemy wants is you to believe in that and your soul be, just in fear all the time. I'm not living in fear like that. It's not safe. It's not good. I'm not trying to listen out for spirits in my house. I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm not trying to do that. When a lot of readers talk about black magic and spells, I think people think the worst. And they do. They do. They do, Brad. And it's a shame, because if they would only take the time to read up on it, they would understand it. Like, really get the authentic information. Really, really get down to it. Really get down to it. And I'm not knocking any reader, because I have some favorites, y'all. We got some really good readers on YouTube. It's just I'm just talking about on my channel. You won't see me talking about black magic or trying to talk to spirits. No. I can tell you that I do have visions like a mug. I do. I do have some pretty in-depth visions. So, and I'm gonna share this, and then I'm gonna go. Last year I had a vision of three urns, like you have at a funeral home, and two of them, the lid was off of two of them, and the third one, no, the lid was sealed on two of them, and the third one, the lid was open. Okay, I had that vision that morning. I believe it was. I want to say it was January the 1st or the 2nd of last year, 2022. I had that vision that morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. I text my mother and I told her, I said, I have a vision of three urns. Two of the urns are sealed closed and there's one that's open. My stepfather died that very day, and my grandfather died the day after that. 6 months later, my dog that we had for 16 years died. All three urns. All three urns. So you tell me, what is that? That's what I'm saying. That's a gift. And I don't take my gift lightly. I don't. That's the side that's hard to really get, is when I get the visions like that. When I get the visions of that right there, that's hard, but with anything, you're gonna have sunshine and rain too. So, and that's when I knew, when I seen those three urns and all that happened, one day after the other, man, I said, okay, God, I got it. I got it. He showed me my gift then. And that's why I try to use my abilities for good and not evil. I mean, I give the information in the readings, but if you notice, when I give advice, that's intuitive advice, and I try to guide in the best way that I can. I don't ever want to mislead anybody. So I just wanted to share that with you. Everything has its bad and good side. It is always the intention of it. Yep. Natalie, to me, it's a kiss signifies intimacy between two people. Yeah, that's true, Natalie. Yeah, you probably logging in and getting the first part of the reading. You know how to read those cards. You have an awesome gift. Thank you, Brad. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brad, for just always, participating and just being you and keeping it real. Your energy is just, it is awesome. And you bring a different flavor to the live. I can truly say that. Among a lot of all of you do. Brad is one, and some others, Darisha and Willa Dean. A lot of y'all that come in on a regular and you talk, and well, I feel like you're talking. I know you're on the chat, but it just feels like we're talking for some wild reason. But it's just all love. It's real good energy in the chat. And that's why I created this channel. I wanted to be a safe space where you could get a reading, you could just be yourself, you could chat, do whatever you wanted to do within reason, no disrespect, no none of that. And we're just talking about everyday stuff and just seeing what's there, as I always say. And just doing the best that we can do with what we got. Cause look, we all want some money. We all want love. We all want a good job. We all want some family and friends that act like they got some sense. And you know what I mean? And that's what the readings show. So I am here as a guide to just see where you are and guide you in the best way that I can, the way that the Lord puts in me to give you, and that's truly what I feel like my purpose is. So, and that's what I do. And I hope that I am really making a difference. And I don't do it for the money. I get gifted all the time. I mean, I don't ask for, you notice, I don't ask for donations. I don't do none of that. You guys do that from the kindness of your heart. And I appreciate everything. The readings, the questions, the donations, the super chat, super thanks, random cash app, all of it. I don't require it, but it's something that y'all feel led to do. And it's a blessing to me. It's a blessing to the channel. Man, thank you. Thank you, Brad. Thank you so much. I aspire to do that. Yeah, one day y'all gonna look up and y'all, I'm gonna have over 100 and some thousand subscribers. You're like, oh yeah, I remember when she was up there and she had this many subscribers. you know. And look, check this out, y'all. I'm still running my mouth. All right. Her goddess has helped me continue on the strive for what's right and best for me. Thank you, Darisha. I'm glad to hear that. Safi says you are a safe space. Actually, I prayed for a sign before, and you are the first one who popped up, and all the confusion I had is clear because all the answers I needed, I get them. So thank you so much. Thank you, Safi, for coming in and sharing. Thank you so much. I'm just so grateful. I'm very low key. I'm blessed and I'm humble. I've been blessed a lot in my life, and I receive blessings and I bless others. I don't take anything for granted, and I have a lot of great things going on in my life, and I tell you, it just warms my heart that I can reach people like that. And I was going to say this. My mom and my grandmother, they always told me, like, you talk so much. You just talk all the time. So I told my mom the other day, I said, hey, you may get tired of me talking, but I got over 11,000 people that love it. And she said, she looked at me all crazy, like, what? She was like, what? I said, I got over 11,000 people and counting that love it. And she just laughed. Because I can talk, y'all, and y'all know it. I can talk, child. I can talk. I've always been like that. Just that mouth and get to going. I'm just a talkative person like that. You are a beautiful heart. Thank you, Lorraine. Yeah, I can talk, boy. I'll talk your ear off. And I love to laugh. I like the joke. And the jokes just come to me just naturally, you know. It trips me out when the songs come to me during the readings. Cause I know like sometimes I'm so off key, but y'all are so supportive. I know sometimes I'm so off key, but y'all are so supportive. I've had people to say, why does everybody sing in the readings? And I say, look, you have to be a reader to understand where that comes from. You got to be a reader. You got to be in tune, because we get the songs that come in, because usually the songs that come in are songs that we like pretty much, but they come in the way that they come in when they come in so that we can get the message out to you guys better. They're just like those little golden nuggets, you know, when they come to mind. I mean, you know, you can't, when I get some of these songs, I'm like, what? I may have heard them many years ago, and it'll just come up in relating to a reading, you know? Oh, Gavin, thank you. Thank you, Lorraine. Yeah, so anybody that's ever wondering where the songs come from, that's where they come from. It's just a way to help further get the information out to you. Because I kid you not, there's somebody that may listen to a reading and they understand it, but that one song could really like get them like, oh, okay. Yeah, you know, and with me, I go from the songs to like parts of movies and like lines in movies and stuff. It's just like I never know. Like that the other day when that Welcome to the Jungle came to mind, I'm like, what? I hadn't heard that since. Oh my God. It has been so long. And that song, I think it's Guns N' Roses, it just coming. I'm like, what? Welcome to the Jungle. I didn't even want to say it, but it kept standing out, and I just had to go ahead and say it. Yeah. But I do appreciate y'all. You know I ramble, and y'all used to it by now. I tell you, I try to make it shorter, but it just, I can go on and on. But thank you so much, everybody. Once again, this was a really great live. I didn't know how this was going to turn out, but we probably would do another one with just some topics, you know, just to try to go with the readings that we have. So I thank you once again. Thank you for coming right back on after the first live. I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I go live and for other readings. Leave a comment to let me know how it resonates with you, okay? Have a great one, everybody. Stay safe and blessed. Remember, me and Sophia right here, we want to let you know that you are worth it always, okay? Know that you're worth it. Know that, you know, your presence in somebody's life makes their life better. I kid you not. Somewhere, energy around you is better because you exist. Remember that. Remember that. Somebody is better because you exist. Always remember that, okay? All right, take care, everybody. Remember what I said. Because sometimes we forget our value. Someone's life or people's life somewhere are better because you're in it, okay? That's how valuable you are. Don't ever let anyone tell you any different. Have a good one, everybody. Stay safe and blessed. Bye.